Dear Esther, this will be my last letter. I don't know the name of the wreck in the bay. It seems to have been here for several years, but has not yet subsided. From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. This beach is no place to end a life. The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted. Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. It is clearly infected. I am travelling through my own body, following the line of infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. Someone has erected an aerial to guide me through these black waves, a beacon that shines through the rocks like phosphorescent moss. I will hold the hand you offered to me. When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh. Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man. Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance, that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction? The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobson. Jacobson's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. In my final dream, I sat at peace with Jacobson and watched the moon over the Sandford Junction. I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk. I met Paul. I first saw him sat by the side of the road. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. The moon over the Sandford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Of fire and soil, I chose fire. I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sandford and were lost. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. He was lifeless for 21 minutes. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence. I am the Ariel. In my passing, I will send news to each and every star. Come back.